Let's see who we have present this morning. Position number one, Deja Alt.
Oh, yeah. Good morning, Judge. That is my case. Ms. Alt is present. She's here to present the evidence that she completed the 20 hours of community.
Okay.
And I have that. It's in my emails. And so that's why I'm trying to pull it up so I can get the emails to the prosecution and then they'll know across the case.
Announcements today.
Thanks, Judge.
Who's handling this all for the solicitor's office?
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Solicitor Denise Riley. I have positions 1 through 6.
Good morning, Ms. Riley. So I'll have Mr. Gates to get you that information.
Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you, Ms. Alt.
Good morning.
Position number 2, Shanlivia Barber.
Good morning, Judge. That's going to be my case. I believe I made an entry into Ms. Barber's case. I just want to check and see if she's on Zoom or in the court.
Yes, good morning. Ms. Barber's in the courtroom with me, Ms. Helen.
Judge, I'm going to announce pretrial. I'm going to give her a call. If the state could chat me the current offer in the case, but I'll announce pretrial, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. And you have Ms. Barber's contact information, Ms. Helen?
I do, Judge.
Position 3, Ethon Barron.
And Judge, that is also my position. Just want to check and see if Mr. Barron appeared in court or on Zoom.
Doesn't appear so.
Give me an opportunity, Your Honor, to contact Mr. Barron. There may be some type of issue with the clerk's office and notice because Mr. Barron showed up last time in person. I made my entry last court date, Judge, but I have not received videos. So that's just the status of Mr. Barron, but I will try to raise him, give him a call here, Judge.
Thank you. I'll hold your announcement, Ms. Helen.
Thank you,
I'm
Judge.
sorry to interrupt. However, with this being mostly cruelty to animals, I don't believe there's going to be any video evidence on this, as this usually, you know, a different department that goes out. It's not police officers.
That's correct. They also, I don't know if they had body camera for the animal services of Fulton County, but I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't any video because I did make my entry.
Yeah, there would be no videos on this that I'm aware of.
Understood.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'll hold this so that you can raise Mr. Barron. Position 4, Raymond Hayes.
Good morning, Judge.
Yes.
Good morning, Judge. Mr. Hayes is present on Zoom. That's my case. I could be wrong, but I don't believe we've received body-worn camera footage yet for this particular case. And if that's still true, Judge, we would request another status calendar so that I would have an opportunity to review that.
Ms. Barber, do you see if there's any, have you requested any camera footage?
Your Honor, I do see that there was a request. It was re-requested on July 19th. I'm not sure if it has been received yet.
Rosenhoover, if it's okay with you and your client, are we set for October 5th status conference calendar at 9 a.m.? Does that work for you?
That's great, Judge. Thank you.
Is Mr. Hayes free to go? Do you have everything you need from him?
I do, Judge. Thank you.
Mr. Hayes, let's see. Are you? Yes, Mr. Hayes. You are free to go. We'll see you back on October 5th, okay?
All right, thank you.
Position 5, Raymond Jacques. There's a conflict.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Michael Barber for Mr. Jacques.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Barber. How are you today?
Right here. Thought you were
Good
looking.
morning, Your Honor.
Good, Your
Ray
Honor.
Jack is present as well.
And what are we doing with Mr. Jacques this morning?
Judge, I have a written report. The report says that there's body worn and dash cam, but I'm not seeing where I have it. I don't know if the state has sent it and I missed it. But I would like to have a copy of it to review if possible.
Your Honor, I have that discovery was filed, including videos and 911 audio on July 11th.
Correct. It looks like the paperwork was filed, but I have not received an email or a OneDrive for that. I can't download video from the Tyler e-file.
Okay, I'm not sure if the attorney who did the discovery is aware that you don't have access to evidence.com, but that is the only way that we give the videos unless you bring a drive down to the office to have it downloaded.
I can come down there today and grab it. The attorney of record should be Brandon Rosenblum. He works at the office, Judge. If he has it, I mean, I have the discovery on our server, but I don't have the video. So I'm coming down there today. I could bring a drive to get a copy of it quite easily.
Okay, so I take it the request is a reset so that you can take a look at the video.
That would be my request, Your Honor. Yes. I apologize. I didn't answer outright.
Yeah, you're fine. I'm gonna
I'm
put you on,
confusing Miss Riley like crazy, so I apologize for that too.
you're fine, Mr. Barber. I'm gonna put you on the final plea calendar on September 7th. Do you think that'll give you enough time?
Oh, absolutely, Your Honor.
Okay. That's a 1:30 calendar.
And will that be Orca Zoom as well?
On this final plea calendar, if it is a plea, I prefer that you be down here in person to take that plea.
Yes, Your Honor. We will do that.
All right, very good. You have anything further on the calendar this morning?
Not that I'm aware of, Your Honor. That concludes my business. May I be excused?
Yes. You and Mr. Jones, have a good day.
Thank you.
Welcome. Position 6, Rachel Johnson.
Yes, Your Honor, that will be my case. Is Ms. Johnson present? Judge, this is a new case for me. It's my understanding Ms. Johnson was in custody at the last court date. I do not have contact information for her. Is she available?
Oh,
on Zoom?
she's on Zoom.
Okay,
Ms. Johnson, hold on, we can't hear you. So you're gonna have to unmute yourself.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You're fine, Ms. Johnson. I'm gonna try to put you in touch with, this is, Ms. Rosenhoover, who's representing you. So, can you how would you like to do it, Ms. Rosenhoover? Would you like to put your information in the chat with her?
if she could provide me with her phone number, just so I can step out and give her a call when I have an opportunity, that would be great.
Okay, Your Honor, I'm the victim. Rachel is my daughter. And she is, the last that I've heard, she is in the DeKalb County Jail. And so this case has been going on for almost 4 years now. She's either out of state or she's in jail or something is going on that she can't be in court. So I've been coming every time. But is there any way that this could be dismissed?
That's up to the state, Ms. Johnson. And as of now, they have not dismissed the case, but I will give Ms. Rosenhoover the opportunity to speak with the state. So we know where your daughter is now. Would you still like her information? Well, she's the alleged victim, so, but we do know that she's in custody. So I'll reset this so that you have the opportunity to speak with her, Ms. Rosenhoover, talk with the state.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay,
So let's put it on the status conference calendar on October 5th.
Thank you, Judge.
Does that work with you? For you?
Absolutely.
and do I need to provide my information to?
No, ma'am. Let's see. If we can have someone, Ms. Riley, I guess the victim advocate, talk with her. I don't know, Ms. Clemens, good morning, if you have her information as of yet, or if you would like to get it this morning.
Good morning, Judge. Yes, I have Ms. Johnson's information. I've been assisting her with her daughter, so I'm trying to see what she's still in custody in DeKalb County. And the last time I checked, she was still in custody in DeKalb County. So I can call Ms. Johnson after court.
Okay, all right, thank you, Ms. Clemens. So, Ms. Johnson, Ms. Clemens will be in touch with you, okay?
Okay, thank you very much, Judge.
You're welcome. You have a good day, ma'am.
Thank you.
Position 7, Bobby Jones.
Judge, that is also my case. I did see that Ms. Jones is on Zoom. Yes, she is present, Judge. At this time, we are not able to resolve the case, but Judge, we would request a motions calendar to have further opportunity to see if any particularized motions need to be filed. If not, then hopefully we'll be able to resolve it on that calendar.
October 19th, motions calendar at 9 a.m. Does that work?
That works for me, Judge. Is that good with you, Ms. Jones?
Yes, it is. Thank you, Your Honor.
Well,
Good morning, Your Honor. Michelle McCutcheon. Ms. Rosenhuber, you will be filing particularized motions, did I hear you say?
I plan to, but of course, if I, after looking through all the discovery more carefully, see that they wouldn't be appropriate, then I wouldn't.
All right, thank you, Judge. October 19th.
yes. Position 8, Gary Lewis.
Is Mr. Lewis present? Judge, this is also my case. I did attempt to call him and I did email him. If I could have an opportunity to try to reach him, again, I would appreciate it.
That's fine. I'll hold to the end of the calendar. Position 9, Justin Marsh.
Good morning, Judge. Brandon Dixon on behalf of Mr. Marsh. Judge, I'm hopeful that we can resolve this case by entering a plea today. I need to pre-trial the terms of the plea with the state judge.
Okay, very good. Ms. McCutcheon, you will get in touch with counsel and you'll provide us your contact information. We'll put it in the chat and get it to Ms. McCutcheon so she can call you. Does that work?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Position 10, DeMarcus Roberts.
Judge, that's my case. Mr. Roberts is present in person. I did receive an updated offer from the state last night. I need to convey it, but I expect that might be a plea this morning. We would just need to get that paperwork together.
Okay, very good. Good morning, Mr. Roberts. Position 11, Christopher Williams.
Good morning, Your Honor. Larry Korn from Mr. Williams, who is online as well. We have received a plea offer from the state. Mr. Williams has decided not to accept it at this point. So we'd be asking the court to place it on the jury trial calendar.
We'll further notice it to the October jury trial calendar, Mr. Korn. Good morning, Mr. Williams.
Good morning, Your Honor.
We will get notification of that October jury trial calendar.
Thank you very much.
Nothing further, Mr. Williams. You have a good day. See you back in October.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
Thank you. Position 12, Andre Willis. Looks like Mr. Willis' notice was returned. If we don't hear from him, a bench warrant will be granted.
Your Honor, I'm looking at the notes, Your Honor, and from Ms. Githier, the defendant was incarcerated back in June, excuse me, Your Honor, with a release date of June 20th, 28th. So I don't know when the notices were sent, the clerk, but if they were sent prior to June 20th, then he would have been incarcerated. We can check, the state can check to see what is his status now, but we might want to put it on another calendar, Your Honor, just to be certain that he's no longer in custody.
Okay, that's fine with McCutcheon. I'll place it back on I'll place it on the show cause calendar on August 31st.
All right, thank you, Judge.
Thank you. That's at 1:30. Okay, is there anyone on the Zoom call who came in late or did not hear their name? Anyone in court that came in late? Yes, sir. What's your name?
My name is Williams.
Williams. Christopher?
No, Philip. Who else?
So it looks like I'm really dark.
Let's see, you're not on my calendar this morning, I'm Mr. Wilson, but I'll have someone check and see what we're supposed to be, okay?
Judge,
Yes.
Judge Attorney Jared Mitnick for Maggie Zutz. We were noticed for this calendar. We're both online.
Okay, give me just one moment while I continue with Mr. Williams for a moment. So if you will sit tight for me, Mr. Williams, I'll have someone speak with you, okay?
Okay.
And yes, good morning, Mr. Bickle. I don't have you on my calendar. Was anyone else, am I missing?
Judge, I've got the notice in my file, which is how I got onto this call, but if it's been reset, I haven't received any notice of that.
Okay. Hold on for a moment for Mr. Bickle. Let me have, someone find out, what that case is. We'll try to move forward this morning, given that you were both here, but do you have a case number?
I do, Judge. Give me just 1 second. I'll pull it up.
Thank you.
And Judge, that case number is 21 CR 004551A.
Okay, we'll pull it up and,
Judge, my request was going to be for a reset to the next status calendar anyway. I just received discovery and an offer while I was on leave. I've not had an opportunity to go over it with my client, and I've reached out to Mr. Stevens, the prosecutor who sent it, to see if we can discuss the case, but I've not. I just did it this morning, so I've not heard back from him, obviously, Judge.
okay, that's fine. We'll place you on this, if it's okay with you, the status conference calendar on August 31st. Does that work?
Give me 1 second, Judge.
It's on the calendar for 9/8, September the 8th.
Okay, we have that you're on the case is on the calendar for September 8th.
Okay, well, Judge, let me take a look here. Well, the notice I have had for right now, which is how I got this link, but that's fine. If we're on for September 8th, and we'll just report back. Is that 9 a.m.?
Which calendar is that?
This is status conference calendar, September 8th, Friday at 9 a.m.
Yes, status conference calendar at 9 a.m.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. May we be excused?
Have a good day, thank you.
Thank you.
Not to interrupt you, I'm trying to call Ms. Barber, who's sitting in the court. Could you ask her to step outside and answer her phone for me? Thank you.
Okay, she said it that way.
Thank you so much.
We will, so Ms. McCutcheon, we're placing our council's number in the chat now. If you would, position number 9, Justin Marsh. So if you'll give him a call, thank you.
Yes, Judge. And I also just received Ms. Rosenhoover's number in the chat. Ms. Rosenhoover, once I speak with Mr. Dixon, then I'll call you as well.
Sounds good. Thank you so
All right.
much.
Mhm.
So is anyone else in need of speaking with a solicitor at the present time? Court will be in recess until we either have a plea ready or there are some announcements.
Your Honor, if I might, I'm looking, I don't have Mr. Dixon's number. If Mr. Dixon is still on, it's position number
I think
9.
we haven't gotten it in the chat yet, Ms. McCutcheon.
All right, thank you, Judge. Mhm.
Just sent it.
It was just saying, you should have it in.
I know who Mr.
Yes.
Also resets, remain seated. Not
iPhone 69. What is your name for purpose of identification? You're muted. You're muted right now. Can't hear what you're saying because you're muted.
Okay, there it is. Hello? Okay,
Yes,
eighth and Barron.
gotcha, sir.
I was thinking it was clear with that. So what I always told people was this.
So, Mr. Barron, you are Miss Helen's client. I'll let Miss Helen know that you're with us. Okay, so just hold on to the report. Okay.
Okay, yes, sir.
Has a severity of felony.
Mr. Barron, you can mute yourself until the court addresses you.
Okay. You say mute myself?
Yes, sir.
Please. Mr. Gaither, Ms. Rosen Hoover, do we have any announcements on any of your cases as of yet?
You go ahead. You got any-
Oh, Your Honor, I emailed Ms. Raleigh. I was just waiting to hear back from Ms. Raleigh. I know I sent her several emails.
Okay,
Good morning. Yes, I received them and I am sending the no pros order to Ms. Smith and Mr. Gaither as we speak.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, because I know it was several emails I sent Ms. Raleigh, Judge, so I know she had to have a little time to process that.
And Judge, for me, as for position number 8, Mr. Lewis, I have still not been able to get in touch with him. The last time I was able to speak with him was in court.
he's coming on now, I believe.
Oh,
Mr. Lewis, can you hear us?
did he just pop up?
He just popped up, Ms. Rosen
Wow.
Hoover.
That is great timing,
Hello?
Judge.
Yes, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, good morning, Mr. Lewis. You're a little late to court this morning. Ms. Rosen Hoover was trying to raise you. I'm gonna give you the opportunity to speak with him, Ms. Rosen Hoover. Would it be easier just to do a breakout room? Or would you like to call him?
That would be great, Judge. A breakout room would be appreciated.
Okay, so if we can put Ms. Rosen Hoover and Mr. Lewis into a breakout room so that they can discuss the matter.
And then otherwise, Judge, my only other announcement is for position 10, we're just waiting on plea paperwork, but Mr. Roberts is here and we'll be ready to go once I get him signed up.
Okay, thank you.
And Your Honor, I'm working on the plea paperwork for position 10, Ms. Rosen Hoover's client, and I've sent the plea paperwork on position 9 to Mr. Dixon. So once those are completed, those pleas will be ready.
Okay, and you've gotten that, Mr. Dixon?
I have not received it yet, Judge.
Okay,
I emailed it to you a few moments ago. You should be receiving it, Mr. Dixon.
Okay, in a few
right.
moments.
Thank you.
thank you. Mr. Gaither, I have signed the null pros for Ms. Alt's case.
Okay,
Is there anything further this morning?
I was just asking, I was just recommending that she hang around just to get a copy of it for her
Okay.
records.
So we'll give her a copy and then is she free to go?
Okay, yes, she is, Judge.
Okay, all right, we'll give you a copy and then you're free to go, okay? You're welcome.
Hang on.
Apologies, everybody. I do have an announcement for position number 8, Mr. Gary Lewis.
Okay,
I was able to speak with him and conveyed the state's recommendation. At this time, if we're not able to resolve it with a plea, we would request the motions calendar that Ms. Jones was set down on, the October one. Just in case this does end up going to trial, I want to make sure that I filed any 404 motions that may be appropriate.
okay, the October 19th motions calendar at 9 a.m.
Gonna be, this full, we only had one position that was available, so then it would go to the next motions, or would you like it to be 5 motions for that day?
Alternative.
Let's just
We could.
go ahead.
We could do just further notice jury trial calendar. I just wanted to kind of be preemptive in case there would be motions.
Okay. Do you anticipate any motions other than the standard motions in limine prior to trial?
Other than, I'm assuming we put 404B kind of in the standard motions in limine, Judge, then no,
Okay.
no.
All right,
additional.
so we'll just put you on the October trial calendar.
Okay, that works. Thank you.
Okay. And Mr., do you have everything you need from Mr. Lewis this morning?
I do. I've got an updated phone number and everything.
Okay. All right, Mr. Lewis, you're free to go this morning. Have a good day, sir.
Position.
Good afternoon, Judge. We're ready on position 2 on the Orca status calendar, if the court's ready.
Yes, Ms. Helen, coach ready.
I apologize. I was having some connectivity issues. I had to rejoin the Zoom link. I do have Ms. Barber present in court. I didn't receive any DocuSign for her case. I don't think I let the state know that this was going to be a plea. It will be a plea this morning. So I just have old-fashioned paperwork that I can scan in.
That's fine with the court if it's fine with Ms. Riley.
Yes, I would just need to see it, but
Okay, and then I will scan that to Ms. Reiser. And then we essentially are accepting the recommendation from the state. We just want to be able to use Ms. Barber's NOLO contendory plea for it.
Okay, I'd have to make that determination once I hear the facts, and if there's an objection from the state, then I'd have to make that determination after I hear the facts and find out the history.
Understand, Judge.
But if there's no objection from the state, then that's fine with me.
yes, Your Honor, I'm taking a look at her history now.
Ms. McCutcheon, are you with me?
I am, Judge.
Whenever you're ready, we can take the position 9, the Justin Marsh.
All right, Judge. Judge, yes, I was preparing the null process. When I'm ready, I can email that to the clerk once we complete the plea.
Okay.
Mr. Dixon, have you completed all 4 pages of the paperwork and your client has signed?
Yes, Ms. McCutcheon.
Okay. And the clerk in the court has the paperwork, Judge?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Good morning, Mr. Marsh.
Morning, Your Honor.
Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, put your hand down. Thank you, sir. Whenever you're ready, Mr. McCutcheon.
Yes, Judge. Had this case gone to trial, the state would expect the evidence to show that on or about February the 6th of 2017, officers responded to a 911 call on Interstate 285 West, just before Jonesboro Road in Fulton County, a traffic accident with injuries involving a tractor trailer and an overturned vehicle. Officers met with the driver, Mr. Tarver, who stated he was traveling in the second right lane when he felt a large impact in the rear of his truck, causing his vehicle to fishtail. The driver of the vehicle that had struck Mr. Tarver was identified as a defendant before the court, Justin Marsh. Officers observed injuries on the scene. The defendant was charged with following too closely, Judge. He also, when officers came to investigate the collision, the defendant, according to the report, the defendant fled. Officers commanded for him to stop. He continued to run through the wood line, was eventually apprehended and taken into custody. He was then charged with obstruction of law enforcement officers as a result of the fleeing. He was also charged with following too closely as regarding the collision that occurred. He was additionally charged with theft by taking, Judge, and I apologize to the court. I just want to see. He was also charged with reckless driving, Judge. He was charged with the reckless driving, the obstruction of the law enforcement officer, hit and run because he fled and did not remain at the scene to report what had occurred, that he had been involved in a collision with another vehicle. And I apologize, Your Honor. I want to make certain that I cite the correct factual basis for the theft by taking. And also on that date, Your Honor, it was discovered that there was an iPhone 6 valued at $1,500 or less, which with the property of a Raven Shepherd, which was in the custody of the defendant. He did not have authority to have possession or to appropriate that particular iPhone item. So he's charged with the theft by receiving of that, theft by taking, of that vehicle, of that iPad that was discovered when officers responded to this vehicle collision. Counsel has provided to the state a copy of his driver. The recommendation, as the court sees on the plea paperwork, that the state would dismiss the suspended license charge if the defendant presented proof that he did have a valid license. He currently does have a valid license, Judge, so we're going to null process suspended license, and I will be submitting that to the court. Likewise, the state had negotiated that if the defendant were to plead to the reckless driving, that the state would null process the hit and run. And counsel has provided proof of that. As to the following too closely, I spoke with Mr. Dixon this morning and advised that if he would provide proof that Allstate, his client's insurer, had paid for the damages to the victim in this case, that the state would reduce the following too closely to a basic rules violation, and counsel has provided that. So that is the reason for the reduction to the basic rules. And Judge, I will be presenting to the court a null process then for the hit and run and the driving with suspended license, since the defendant is pleading to the reckless driving, the obstruction, and the theft by taking. And the basic rules will be amended, the following too closely will be amended to basic rules. And the state is recommending a $500 fine on the reckless driving and a $250 fine, Your Honor, on the, and Judge, I apologize. I'm trying to toggle between various screens here to give the court the recommendation. The $300 fine on the obstruction, the $500 fine on the reckless driving, and then the $250 fine, plus the associated court costs. And the defense counsel has indicated that the defendant does not wish to go on probation, Your Honor. Based on the age of this case, Judge, typically I would not agree to a non-probation balance of a sentence like this. But since this is an older case, as the court can see, it's a 2017 incident date, Judge. Counsel has provided, also counsel has provided proof that the defendant has completed a risk reduction program. And so in light of the circumstances and what the defendant has done, the state will not oppose a request to not go on probation if the defendant is able to pay all of the fines and court costs today in Stanter.
Okay, Mr. Dixon.
Judge, as the state communicated, that is our negotiated plea agreement. We would ask the court to accept the plea agreement, as Mr. Marsh has changed his life since the date of this incident. And now he's just essentially trying to correct the wrongs of the past. And he's trying to resolve matters such as these so that he can move forward with life, Judge. So with that being said, Judge, I would ask that the court accept the plea as negotiated.
And I have that the fine comes up to $1,050. He's prepared to pay that today along with court costs.
That's correct, Judge.
Anything further before I take the plea?
Nothing further, Judge.
And Your Honor, the defendant does have a prior history. He does have prior felony convictions. I don't know if the court wants to hear that. He has a 2009 conviction for, looks like it's from out of Henry County. I'm entering an automobile. Well, I'm sorry, that was not presented to the grand jury. Criminal damage to property. He used his first offender, however, for that charge. He then has a DUI from 2011. Where that was a conviction. He has 12 cycles, Judge. He does have a prior plea of nolo contendere to a driving suspended license. That was back in 2012. I see a schedule, a violation of Georgia Controlled Substances arrest, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, another DUI arrest. So he does have what the state would consider an aggravated criminal history. However, once again, Judge, in light of the circumstances and the age of this case and the fact the defendant has completed what the state would have required as part of the probation sentence, he has already done that. We will not oppose a closing the case out once he pays the fine and cost today.
Okay. Mr. Marsh, it's my understanding that in case 18 CR 000622, you wish to plead guilty to obstruction of a law enforcement officer, theft by taking, reckless driving, and basic rules violation. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I will accept the plea as negotiated. As soon as you get the fine paid, you'll be done. And I understand that you can do that today. So good luck to you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome. Okay, so we'll show him where he needs to pay the fine. And anything further this morning?
Nothing further, Judge. That concludes my business.
Yes, y'all have a good day.
Thank you, Judge.
And Madam Clerk, I don't know who the clerk is today, Your Honor, but I will get the no pros orders to the clerk and the amendment for the following too closely amended to basic rules.
Okay. Yes, Ms. Smith.
Judge,
We cannot.
where should Mr. Marsh wait?
He can just wait there. Just have a seat. We'll be with him. Okay.
For them, it'll be momentarily until we get the amended charge so that we can put it in Odyssey for the fine amount to be paid.
Okay. So. Let me wait till they.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. So, Madam Clerk, you need the amendment for the basic rules?
Right, what?
Okay. I'm working on that now, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll be on recess while we get the rest of the plea paperwork together. Thank you. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm talking to his office, so you don't have to do it right now. Whenever you get done with them, just just text them and I'll make it around.
Okay, thank you. Let's walk over here now. And Ms. McCutcheon, I know that you're working on something else right now, but as soon as you're ready, we are ready with the plea on in the Roberts case.
Judge, I'm ready for that plea. Do you need me to file this amended accusation first, or can we go forward with the plea and I file it later? I didn't know if that was holding the clerk up.
How, how long do you think it's gonna take you, Ms. McCutcheon?
Judge, I'm drafting it now. I have to draft it and file it down.
Okay, so
I'm
why don't
drafting it now.
we take the plea first and then
Okay.
I'll have you take your time and get that done.
All righty. Okay.
If that's all right with you.
Yes, Judge. Mhm.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Roberts.
Morning, John.
Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna need you to take that gum out for me, okay?
All right.
Here you go. Whenever you're ready, Ms. McCutcheon.
Yes, Judge, I'm pulling up his case now. Part of the negotiation with this case, Judge, and this is another case, well, I'll have to amend it. He's charged with battery. I believe it says battery substantial physical harm. Maybe perhaps I do not have to amend it. I'm looking at the negotiation is that the defendant will plead to the offensive battery. The state would expect the evidence to show that had this case gone to trial, that the defendant did cause visible bodily injury to the victim, who is DeLeon, D as in David, E-L-E-O-N, last name Roberts, that being bleeding around the face and injuries around the bruising to the face as a result of striking and kneeling on him. This is alleged to have occurred. The state would expect the evidence to show that this occurred on or about April the 26th of 2021. Officers responded to the incident location in Fulton County, which was pardon me, Judge, there are a lot, I'm looking at, there are a lot of warrants in this case. I appreciate the court's, okay. Yes, officers responded to a dispute at 3804 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, apartment 3B in Fulton County. Observed visible injuries to the victim, complainant Mr. DeLeon Roberts, visible injuries to his nose and mouth. He stated that earlier that day, his older brother, the defendant, Mr. DeMarcus Roberts, had gotten into a verbal dispute with him. It escalated into a physical altercation where the defendant had struck Mr. DeLeon in the face, resulting in those injuries. The defendant was then also from striking him as well as kneeling down on the neck of the victim, the brother. This occurred in the presence of Mr. DeMarcus's two children, which is the factual basis for the cruelty to children in the third degree. The state's recommendation in this case, Judge, is that on a plea of guilty, the state is recommending that the defendant be sentenced to 12 months to serve 4 days, credit for the time that he's already served, which was 4 days, that the balance of that sentence be served on probation, that he complete the family violence intervention program with a focus on parenting and anger management, that he is to have no contact whatsoever with the victim, DeLeon Roberts. He is to stay away from the incident location, which was 3804 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, Atlanta, Georgia. As to the cruelty to children, both counts, the state is recommending 12 months probation to run concurrent to any sentence imposed in count one for a total of 36 months probated sentence. And the state would ask that the defendant remain on probation, Judge, until all of the conditions have been met, and that being the SVIP, which would be outstanding, and that the state is not opposed to it becoming non-reporting, but the state does want him to remain on probation for at least 24 months of the 36-month sentence.
Judge, if I may, it was my understanding that the total was a 12-month probation sentence. I just wanted to clarify.
I apologize, Judge. Yes, we did, Ms. Rosenhoover and I did speak, and we did amend that. So it is a total of a concurrent 12-month sentence, Judge. And in light of that, the state would request that the defendant remain on probation throughout the entirety of this sentence. And I apologize to the court and Ms. Rosenhoover. I overlooked the fact that we had agreed to 12 months this morning.
Your request is remain on reporting probation for 12 months?
Judge, once he finishes the FVIP, it can become non-reporting, but I do want I do not want the probation to terminate.
Okay. And just for my clarification, on the plea paperwork, I just have a battery charge. Am I supposed to have a battery charge and 2 cruelty to children in the 3rd degree?
Judge, yes, that was my mistake then. Ms. Rosenhoover, I'm not opposed if you want to write in, or if the court, I don't oppose if the court writes in, whatever the court's pleasure. I left off the 2 counts of cruelty to children, count 2 and count 3 on the plea paperwork.
I have no opposition to the court correcting the plea paperwork to that effect.
Let me just do that.
And it was 2 counts of cruelty to children in the 3rd degree, Your Honor. There were 2 children less than the age of 18 years present when the battery occurred.
Anything further, Ms. McCutcheon?
No, Your Honor, not from the state.
Ms. Rosenhoover?
We would just ask that the court accepts the negotiated plea agreement at this time, Judge.
Mr. Roberts, it's my understanding that in case 21 CR 007418F, you wish to plead guilty to battery and 2 counts of cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. Is that correct?
Correct.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with her representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Roberts. When you complete the terms of the probation, it'll go to a non-reporting status. So the quicker you get it done, the quicker you won't have to report to probation, and the quicker you won't have to pay any of those fees, okay?
Okay.
All right. So we will give you where you need to go to probation. I ask that you go within the next 2 weeks and sign up and start with them, okay?
Okay, cool.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Roberts.
All right, thank you.
Anything further, Mr. Rosenhoover?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
So we'll get, I don't know if you've already gotten that or not, but we'll get you the probation paperwork for him to sign.
Sounds good, Judge. We'll stick around for that.
Okay.
Forward so that you can put all of your content information. Probation can reach you, but again, like the judge says, within 2 weeks, try to get over there and just set everything up so that.
And Ms. McCutcheon, we'll await that other paperwork. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Judge, I'm working on that now. That's for Justin Marsh.
Yes. And we'll be with you, Mr. Marsh. We have to make sure we have the paperwork put into the system before you can go pay, okay? So we'll get that done as quickly as possible. So just sit tight for us, okay? Let's see, Miss Helen, are you with me? We'll be on recess until Miss Helen comes back on.
I can text her, Judge.
Judge, I didn't want to interrupt you. We are ready on position 2 for Ms. Barbara if the court's ready.
Okay. And have you sent the paperwork?
I will be sending that now. I'll scan and email it now, Judge.
Okay.
Should I send it to Miss Essence Smith as well?
Kenneth Randolph?
To Randolph, understood.
Yes.
I just emailed that to Mr. Randolph. Just let me know when he gets it.
Okay.
I haven't seen the paperwork, so I can't take a plea without reviewing it.
I'll also send it to Miss Riley on that email.
Okay, thank you.
And Your Honor, just an update on the Justin Marsh case, position number 9. Madam Clerk, whoever the clerk is in the courtroom, I just filed it down, so it should be in the queue waiting to be processed. The amended accusation for basic rules violation, amending the following too closely.
Thank you, Ms. McCutcheon.
Your Honor, I did receive the paperwork. However, I was trying to direct message Miss Helen. It's saying she's not in the chat. But there is an error that needs to be corrected on the paperwork.
Which area is that? I can resend it.
You have one parenting class. It's supposed to be 2 8-hour parenting class or a total of 16 hours.
I apologize. I have the email from Ms. Githia, which I was referring to. It said 12 months to serve 2 days, credit for time served 2 days, balance probated, and it didn't have 2. It just said parenting classes. So let me just talk to Ms. Barber real quick here. Hey, Ms. Barber, can you step into the hall for thank you?
She's stepping out.
And I have spoken to Miss Barbara. She's okay with the 2 classes. If you could just write into, we do agree to the 2 classes, and I do give permission to give my signature for that adage.
And the state has no objection.
Okay, as soon as I get the paperwork, I'll write into parenting classes.
And Judge, we just have just a couple asks on behalf of Miss Barber, who is currently full-time working. She is a proud mother of 4 sons. She just got off work.
Miss Helen, hold on. Let me.
Oh, you're gonna wait. Okay, that's okay.
Figure out what this is all about first,
Gotcha.
so that I can properly address the issues.
Understood, Judge.
And Miss Helen,
Yes, Judge.
did you? I don't know if you realized that Mr. Barron came on the line.
I did. I've spoken to Mr. Barron and I had messaged the state. This is going to be a plea. I hope I didn't get cut off there. This is going to be a plea for Mr. Barron as well.
Okay, all right. Just wanted to make sure. Thank you, Miss Helen.
Miss Helen, there is some documentation that's needed. I can't chat you back.
I can do an
you
old
have-
school plea form for Mr. Barron. I have those for him.
It's not the plea forms, but do you have, I can send you the plea paperwork, but do you have proof of his, of the dog having tags? The condition of.
Hey, Mr. Barron, come off. Can you unmute, please? I spoke to Mr. Barron. He does not possess those dogs at this time, so he cannot show you proof that he has tags. He does not possess those 2 dogs. We were trying to close this out in the plea, but he does currently not possess those dogs. And you don't have any proof of those tags, right, Mr. Barron?
No, no, ma'am.
Is there proof that you no longer have, that he no longer has the dogs? I mean, you need.
Yep. I don't have the dogs.
And I don't know how he could show like pictures that they're no longer there. Mr. Barron just has advised me that he no longer possesses the 2 dogs.
We have rescue dogs, and they come and they go.
Mr. Barron, we can't see your face. Can you adjust your camera for me?
Okay, sir.
No, that's fine. Do you have any animals at the present time?
Sir?
Do you have any animals at the present time?
No, sir.
Okay. And when did you get rid of the 2? Are there 2 dogs, Miss Riley?
Yes, Your Honor.
When did you get? And Miss Helen, I'm questioning your client. If you think it is improper, you let me know. When did you get rid of those 2 dogs?
It was shortly after that incident. One of them died, and one of them ran away. But the only dilemma I had with the entire situation, because I wasn't.
Okay,
hold on,
Mr. Barron. I don't want you. I don't want you saying anything else. Okay, because you do have a right to remain silent, and anything you say can be used against you. Ms. Riley, what proof do you think? If I don't know what proof he might have of a dog running away or a dog passing away. What did you do with the dog once it passed away, Mr. Barron?
Sir?
What did you do with the dog when he or she passed away?
Buried.
You did what?
Buried.
Oh, okay.
Buried. I'm sorry. Buried.
Miss Riley?
Oh, okay, Your Honor. I mean, I'm not.
It's a 2019 case. You want?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay.
You can proceed. I will send Miss. Well, I guess you're signing on his behalf, Miss Helen.
Yes.
Okay, I will send Miss Helen or start working on the paperwork.
Okay.
I will.
And I do have the paperwork for Ms. Barber, whenever you all are ready.
I'm ready for Ms. Barber, Judge.
Ms. Riley?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm ready.
Okay, come on up, Ms. Barber.
Walk around to this podium right here. If you have any questions, I'll be right here.
Good morning again, Ms. Barber.
Good morning.
Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
You can put your hand down. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, Ms. Riley.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state expects the evidence to show, if we proceeded to trial, that on September 12th, 2019, East Point officers were dispatched to 1884 Center Avenue in East Point, Fulton County, around 10 p.m. Upon arrival, they went to the residence of a Mr. Willie Johnson, and who had been called by Mr. Harris, who is the father of the 3 children in question. And Mr. Harris advised when he came to the location to check on his 3 sons, ages 12, 9, and 6 at the time, who reside with their mother, the defendant, Ms. Barber. He was advised that Mr. Williams found the sons at the residence, or excuse me, he found his sons at the residence of Mr. Johnson, and advised that he asked why his children were not home. And Mr. Johnson said that he had been taking care of the sons because he noticed Ms. Barber had not been home for the past 2 days, and the juveniles had been left alone in the home for almost 2 days. The state's recommendation is 12 months to serve 2 days, credit for time served 2 days, the balance on probation, 2 8-hour or parenting classes, or the equivalent of 16 hours of parenting classes, and to have contact with the children in accordance with any defects or family court order. And Your Honor, I noticed that that was also not on the plea paperwork, so that would need to be added as well.
Give me the verbiage, Ms. Riley, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Contact with the children, with the 3 children, in accordance with any defects or family court order that is currently in place.
So what I've added, just so that you all know and I can get your agreement, 2 parenting classes, TWO, 8 hours each, contact with children in compliance with any defects, orders, or family court orders.
Understood.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. And the history, Ms. Riley? No.
Yep.
Was there an objection to a no-low? And if so, can I have the history?
No objection, Your Honor. She does appear to be no-low eligible. She does have 6 cycles on her history, but they are, over 10 to 15 years old.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Riley. Ms. Helen.
Yes, Judge. And so Ms. Barber does agree to the 2 classes. We're just asking because she is a working mom. She's a single mom working for 4 sons. She just got off of work from the airport to come to court this morning. And I would ask that either that her probation fees be waived, and that once she completes the 2 classes, can the probation be suspended or non-reporting?
I have no objection to non-reporting. Ms. Riley?
I don't have an objection to non-reporting, Your Honor.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do, Ms. Helen, she should be able to get through 2 8 hours of classes in less than a week. So I'm not inclined um, uh, to waive any probation fees, just because I want her to get through it as quickly as possible. So if she gets through it within the first week or so, then she'll be on non-reporting probation and she won't have to pay any fees. Okay?
Understood, Judge.
Okay, anything further, Ms. Helen?
I don't believe so, Judge, but when you plead, Ms. Barber, it will be nolo.
Yes, that's what was agreed with the state, right?
That's correct, Judge.
Okay. All right. Ms. Barber, it's my understanding that in case 21 CR 0000106, you wish to plead nolo contendere to 3 counts of reckless conduct. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with her representation?
Yes.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes.
Has anyone forced you or coerced you to plead guilty, to plead nolo?
No, sir.
I'll accept the nolo plea as negotiated. When you complete the terms, when you do the parenting classes, it will go to a non-reporting status, which means that you will not have to report to probation and you won't have to pay the probation fee. So the sooner you get the classes done, the sooner you won't have to report, okay?
Okay. I got a question.
Okay,
So will I be on probation
yes, you'll be on probation.
or?
We will give you the probation, where to go to sign up for probation. I would like you to go within the first 2 weeks, but you'll only be on reporting probation until you complete the classes, okay?
Okay.
And then once you complete the classes, then it'll go to non-reporting, which means that although you'll still be on probation, you won't have to go, you won't have to report to probation and you won't have to pay any of the probation fees. Okay, so if you knock these classes out within the first week or so, then you won't have to report.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have any other questions from me or Miss Helen?
No.
All right, so we're gonna give you, Miss Helen, we're gonna give her where she needs to go to probation, and then once she does that, I take it she'll be free to go.
Understood, Judge.
Okay. So just give us a moment. Okay, so I think that we're waiting on Mr. Barron. I've gotten the paperwork on Mr. Marsh. We'll get that entered so we can show him where to go, and we will get Ms. Barber information on probation. Okay, so we will be in recess until Mr. Barron's paperwork comes in.
Thank you.
Judge, I just think I need the current offer for Mr. Barron.
Would you like for Ms. Riley to put it on the record?
Yes, please.
Sure, there's one plea to count 1, reckless conduct, 12 months probation, a $300 fine or 30 hours of community service, attend animalcourt.com, pay restitution in the amount of $340. And the other counts will be no pros.
Give me an opportunity. I'll speak to Mr. Barron and we'll be back.
Okay.
And Judge, I just emailed that plea to Mr. Randolph. Just let me know when the court's ready for position 3.
Okay, and did Ms. Riley receive it?
I also emailed it to Ms. Riley.
Okay,
Good morning. Thank you. Yes, and I responded with this, my electronic signature, so hopefully the court can see it. If not, I can prepare the plea paperwork and send it, or I have it prepared.
okay, I don't have yours. I don't have your signature, Ms. Riley.
Yes, I replied to the email that Ms. Helen sent with,
Oh.
but it may not come through. That was an issue yesterday. That's why I said I would draft the plea paperwork, Ms. Helen.
You want me to send it to her, back to her?
You should have it from me. I just replied all to Ms. Helen's email and attached it again. Are you saying it's not showing on that one?
You printed it? Did you done?
No.
Go to the state court. Okay.
Two or something. Second one does not have it.
The next page. No.
That's one.
Would you send it directly, Ms. Riley, please?
Your Honor, I think the way it is scanned in, and because I can only, it's a PDF, how Ms. Helen scanned it, I can only do the electronic, and it's for whatever reason it's not coming through. So I now need to send the plea paperwork to Ms. Helen for her to sign. That's what we had to do yesterday.
Okay.
Okay.
So you understand, Ms. Helen?
I'll be on the lookout for the email and I'll sign it for on behalf of myself and Mr. Barron.
Okay, thank you. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Randolph, can you hear me? It's Michelle McCutcheon.
Yeah, he can hear you, Ms. McCutcheon.
Hi, Judge. I just wanted to apologize. I've been saying Madam Clerk all morning. And then I just realized when I looked at the screen, I said, oh, we have a male clerk. So my apologies. And I wanted to follow up to see whether or not the amended accusation has been processed on Justin Marsh. Were you all able to see it?
Yes, we do have it, Ms. McCutcheon. We're just
Okay.
everybody's in court right now, so we're having difficulty with someone filing it for us, but we're still in
Okay.
the process of trying to get that done
Okay.
so we can get Mr. Marsh out of here.
All right, Judge, because it still shows pending, so I didn't know, which means it still needs to have a CR number assigned. So I was just wondering if they had something on their end. Thank you.
Right, yes, we're trying to get that done.
You know, Judge, in the olden days, we could just walk in with the document and have it stamped right there in court. I kind of miss that, somebody would just
Right.
stamp it right there in court. Yeah. Computers are good as long as they're good.
Right, right. As long as you have enough people to work them.
Exactly, exactly. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you for the time. Your Honor, I did send the plea paperwork to Ms. Helen. I did not include Mr. Randolph just to cut down on confusion. So,
Okay,
I received it, fill it out. I'll send it to you and Mr. Randolph.
thank you.
And Your Honor, I just emailed that. Just let me know when the court's ready.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Helen.
And Your Honor, I apologize. I did just notice there is an error in the sentence recommendation. After restitution, it says to serve 4 days, credit for time served 4 days, and a BARC class. If you could please strike through that with my permission.
Strike through the BARC class.
And the 4 days to serve, credit for time served 4 days, that is not part of the recommendation. That was an error on my part.
Reckless conduct, so just so I make sure I have it right. Reckless conduct, 12 months, $300 or 30 hours of community service. It's my understanding that he wants to do the community service. Is that right, Ms. Helen?
That's correct, Judge.
So we'll just have the community service. Animalcourt.com, $340 in restitution. And count 2 through 8 will be now paused.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Let's see, Mr. Barron.
I saw him. I don't know if he logged himself off.
I think it was on the iPhone, wasn't he? Mr. Barron, are you with us?
I asked him to log back on.
Okay.
There he is.
All right. Good morning again, Mr. Barron. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Can you hear me, Mr. Barron?
He may still be logging in. The audio may not be connected.
Mr. Barron, can you hear us? I don't think he can. Mr. Glanville, do you know if he's having some problems on our end, or is it
He
his?
couldn't hear us, Judge. He just messaged me back and said he couldn't hear us.
Have him log out and log back in.
It's on his end. He probably is not connected to the audio. He probably just connected to the video.
Okay. Tell him to select connect to audio, Ms. Helen. And video.
Understood, Judge.
These 12 cases are taking us a little while this morning. Always happens when you see a smaller calendar, it takes longer to get through it.
Yes, you get excited, but yeah.
Well, when I'm on the SAP calendar, sometimes I'll, see 20 cases and I'll be like, yes. And then it takes all day.
All day.
If you have 40 of them, that you can get through them in no time sometimes.
Yeah.
We appreciate your patience.
We
We
appreciate
get a
yours.
Yes. We have a false anticipation. We're like, oh, I can have a good lunch. Maybe I can run out and grab something today. I don't know, Judge. It seems like, in my opinion, when we first started out with Zoom, it seemed to go really smoothly. It seems as if now, and I don't know if it's because we're doing more complex, taking care of more complex matters with Zoom. It just seems like during the pandemic, when it was new, it seemed to go much more easily than it does now. Is that just me? Well, maybe because we weren't doing as much. We weren't taking pleas and we weren't doing as many things, perhaps.
Right. Well, for me, it depends on the day. Some days it's like walking in mud, and other days it's skiing down a slope of ice.
True, true. Yes.
Let's see, Mr. Barron, can you hear us?
Unmute yourself, Mr. Barron, please.
Yes,
Okay.
I hear you.
All right.
Yes,
very
sir.
good. Yes. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can put your hands down. Thank you, sir. Yes, Ms. Robbie.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state would expect the evidence to show, if this were to proceed to trial, that on August 17th of 2019, animal control was called out where Mr. Barron had owned or harbored dogs in Fulton County that he allowed to roam loose that bit a Mr. Christopher Hill off of the owner's off of Mr. Barron's property, and he failed to have license for the animals. The state's recommendation in this case is a plea to count 1, reckless conduct, 12 months probation, 30 hours of community service, complete the animalcourt.com, of course, and pay restitution to Mr. Christopher Hill in the amount of $340.
Ms. Helen?
Yes, Judge, that is our understanding. I would ask the state if they would be willing to accept a nolo contendory plea. I know I circled guilty on that plea, but due to his history, also due to the circumstances, him not having these dogs anymore, if the state would be amenable to him using a nolo contendory plea.
The state does not have an objection.
Then Judge, we'd just like to use that plea.
Okay. I don't seem to have, I have 2 pages. Was a cover sheet sent?
I believe, well, I think it was 2 pages that I signed. I don't know if there's another.
No, I just don't have a place. I normally have a place to circle the NOLO or guilty, but
I think, Your Honor, on the actual plea and verdict form, it just had guilty.
right.
So
All right.
again,
So
you'd have to write in NOLO.
if agreeable with everyone, I'll just write in a.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Anything further, Ms. Helen?
No, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Barron, it's my understanding that in case 20 CR 001946C, you wish to plead NOLO to reckless conduct. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with her representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading NOLO to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Right.
has anyone forced or coerced you to plead no?
No, sir.
I'll accept the no plea as negotiated, Mr. Barron. Let's see, as soon as you complete the terms of the probation, do you have any objection to the probation terminating, Ms. Riley?
No, Your Honor.
As soon as you complete the terms, it'll terminate, which means that as soon as you get all this done, the sooner you will not be on probation, Mr. Barron, and you won't have to pay the probation fees, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. We will get you the paperwork as to where you need to report to probation. We'll ask that you do that within the first 2 weeks, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, nothing further. Ms. Helen, anything further?
No, Judge.
All right, you have a good day, Mr. Barron.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you,
You're
Judge.
welcome, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Barron.
Okay, and that concludes the morning calendar. As soon as Mr. Randolph is ready, we can go over the calendar.
Yes, Your Honor.
All
Anything
right,
to put
position-
on the file? That's it.
okay, position 1, no pros. Position 2, plea. Position 3, plea. Position 4, reset October 5th status calendar. Position 5, reset final plea September 7th calendar. Position 6, reset October 5th status calendar. Position 7, reset October 19th motion calendar. Position 8, jury trial demand. Position 9, plea. Position 10, plea. Position 11, jury trial demand. Position 12, reset to show cause August 31st.
Any questions or concerns?
Not for me, Judge.
Okay. I'll see you all at 1:30. Enjoy your lunch.
Yeah, 1:30.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you.
Yes, we still have to deal with him. Do we have? Okay. Thank you.